Guys, have you seen what fans have been talking about lately? Because honestly, this is one of those discussions that exploded across the community almost overnight. And whether you've been following every update or you just stumbled across this conversation today, you're probably wondering the exact same thing everyone else is asking. What if, just what if, the rumors circulating online turned out to have even a tiny bit of truth? There's been growing speculation among fans that a London concert promoter could be interested in seeing Jimin perform with a completely different concept than many people expect. Now, before we go any further, let's make one thing absolutely clear. None of this has been officially confirmed by Jimin, his team, or any organizer. At this point, it remains fan discussion and online speculation. But even so, the conversation has become so massive that ARMY from all over the world simply can't stop imagining the possibilities. And honestly, that's exactly why today's discussion is so fascinating, because sometimes the way fans react to an idea can tell us just as much as the idea itself. So stay with me, because the deeper we go into this conversation, the more interesting it becomes, and some of the theories people have been sharing might genuinely surprise you. If you've been part of this community for a while, then you already know something about Jimin that makes this entire discussion so exciting. Throughout his career, he has never been someone who stays inside a single artistic box. Every era has shown a different side of him. Sometimes his performances are incredibly elegant and emotional, almost like watching contemporary art unfold on a stage. Other times he delivers an intensity that completely captures the audience's attention from the very first second until the final note. That versatility is one of the biggest reasons why fans are so invested whenever a new project is mentioned. The moment people hear words like new concept, special stage, or international performance, imaginations immediately start running wild. It isn't because fans believe every rumor they see online. Instead, it's because Jimin has repeatedly demonstrated that he isn't afraid to evolve as an artist, and every new chapter has managed to surprise audiences in ways very few performers can achieve. Now here's where things become even more interesting. According to various fan discussions circulating online, the speculation isn't simply about another concert appearance. Instead, people are imagining what kind of creative direction would make the biggest impact if a major performance in London ever happened. Some fans picture an elegant orchestral production, blending modern pop with live classical instrumentation to create an unforgettable atmosphere. Others imagine a darker, cinematic performance filled with dramatic lighting, sophisticated choreography, and storytelling elements that would transform the stage into something closer to a theatrical experience than a traditional concert. Then there are those who hope for something much more intimate, a stripped-down performance where vocals, emotion, and connection with the audience become the true centerpiece. None of these ideas have been confirmed, of course, but what makes this discussion so captivating is the sheer creativity of the community itself. Every fan seems to have a different vision, yet almost everyone agrees on one thing. Whatever Jimin chooses to do in the future, expectations will be incredibly high. And that's where the emotional side of this conversation begins to emerge. ARMY has witnessed countless unforgettable performances over the years, and each one has created memories that remain vivid long after the lights go down. Fans don't just remember the choreography or the vocals. They remember the feeling. They remember the goosebumps when the music started, the silence before a powerful note, the emotional expressions, and those moments that somehow made millions of people watching from different countries feel connected at exactly the same time. That emotional bond is incredibly rare in today's entertainment industry. So when fans imagine the possibility of a completely new concept for a future London performance, what they're really imagining isn't just a different costume or a different stage design. They're imagining another unforgettable memory, another moment that could become part of the history they share together as a community. But here's something that many people outside the fandom often underestimate. They assume conversations like these are only about excitement or hype. In reality, they're also about trust. Fans have watched Jimin grow over the years through hard work, artistic experimentation, and personal development. Because of that journey, many people have confidence that if he ever introduces a new concept, it won't simply exist to shock audiences or create headlines. It would likely have a deeper artistic purpose. That's one of the reasons speculation spreads so quickly whenever his name becomes attached to a creative discussion. People aren't just curious about what he might wear or what songs he could perform. They're curious about the story he might choose to tell through music, movement, visuals, and emotion. And speaking of stories, here's another reason this topic has generated so much attention. London has long been recognized as one of the world's most influential cultural capitals. Artists from across the globe often see performing there as an opportunity to connect with diverse audiences who appreciate both innovation and authenticity. Naturally, that leads fans to wonder what kind of performance would resonate most strongly in such an environment. Would it be something bold and experimental? Would it focus on artistic elegance? Or would it celebrate the emotional connection that has always been one of Jimin's greatest strengths? Again, there are no official answers, but the questions themselves have sparked countless conversations across social media, with fans analyzing previous performances, comparing different artistic eras, and imagining entirely new possibilities. Now let me ask you something, because this is where the conversation takes an unexpected turn. Imagine that tomorrow an official announcement suddenly appeared confirming a major performance. Forget the rumors for a second. Forget everything people have been speculating about online. If you were responsible for designing that stage from scratch, what would you want audiences to experience during the very first 30 seconds? Would you begin with complete darkness and silence before revealing Jimin under a single spotlight? Would you start with an explosive dance introduction that immediately sends the crowd into absolute chaos? Or would you choose something quieter, allowing emotion to build gradually until the entire venue becomes completely captivated? It's fascinating how one simple question can inspire hundreds of completely different answers, and that's exactly what's been happening throughout the fandom. Another reason this speculation has gained momentum is because fans understand how much detail goes into every performance. Nothing is accidental. Every camera angle, every lighting cue, every costume choice, every movement across the stage is usually part of a much larger artistic vision. That's why people spend hours discussing possibilities. They're not simply guessing randomly. They're drawing connections from previous performances, interviews, visual themes, choreography styles, and musical evolution. Whether those theories ultimately prove accurate isn't really the point. The excitement comes from sharing ideas with fellow fans, appreciating Jimin's artistry, and celebrating the creativity that has consistently defined his career. As more people joined the discussion, another interesting pattern began to emerge. Rather than focusing only on spectacle, many fans emphasized authenticity. They argued that the most memorable performances are rarely the ones with the biggest budget or the most elaborate visual effects. Instead, they're the ones that create genuine emotional resonance. Jimin has often been praised for conveying emotion through both his vocals and his movement, making audiences feel as though every performance tells a personal story. That quality is difficult to manufacture, and it's one of the reasons why so many people believe any future concept, whatever it may be, would ultimately succeed because of the performer behind it rather than the production surrounding it. Still, one question continues to dominate conversations across the fandom. If a future London performance were ever announced, would Jimin choose to surprise everyone with something completely unexpected, or would he build upon the artistic identity that fans already know and love? It's a question without an answer today, but perhaps that's exactly why the discussion refuses to fade away. Every day brings new theories, fresh artwork from fans, imaginative stage concepts, and passionate debates about what the ideal performance could look like. Even without official confirmation, the conversation itself has become a celebration of creativity, anticipation, and the unique connection between an artist and a global community that never stops dreaming about what might come next. As this conversation continues to spread across the fandom, one thing becomes increasingly clear. What keeps people engaged isn't necessarily the rumor itself, but what it represents. Fans are excited because they know that every new chapter in Jimin's artistic journey has the potential to reveal something different. Throughout the years, he has built a reputation for constantly challenging himself, refining his craft, and finding new ways to express emotion through music and performance. That's why even unconfirmed discussions can spark such passionate conversations. People aren't simply waiting for headlines, They're looking forward to the next opportunity to experience an artist who has consistently surprised audiences with dedication, creativity, and authenticity. Until any official announcement is made, though, it's important to remember that these ideas remain speculation shared among fans rather than confirmed plans. That distinction matters because while imagining possibilities can be exciting, respecting accurate information is just as important for a healthy and supportive fan community. What makes this moment even more fascinating is how quickly fans around the world begin collaborating whenever a topic like this appears online. Social media fills with creative mock-up posters, imagined stage designs, dream set lists, lighting concepts, and even fan-made visual trailers. It's almost like thousands of creative directors suddenly come together with one shared goal, imagining what the ultimate performance could look like. Some picture a minimalist stage where every movement becomes the focus. Others imagine breathtaking visual effects that transform the venue into an immersive experience. Still others hope for live musicians, dramatic storytelling, or unexpected arrangements of familiar songs that would give audiences something entirely fresh. None of these ideas are official, of course, but they showcase something truly remarkable about this fandom, the ability to turn anticipation into creativity. Instead of simply waiting, fans create, discuss, inspire one another, and celebrate the possibilities together. There's also another side to this discussion that deserves attention. Behind every major performance is an enormous amount of preparation that most audiences never get to see. Months of rehearsals, choreography adjustments, vocal practice, technical coordination, costume fittings, lighting rehearsals, and countless behind-the-scenes decisions all come together to create what eventually looks effortless on stage. When fans imagine a future performance, they're often thinking about the final result, but the journey leading there is just as impressive. It's a reminder that memorable performances are rarely built overnight. They're the product of discipline, teamwork, and a commitment to excellence. That's one reason so many people admire Jimin's work ethic, not just because of what appears on stage, but because of the dedication required to consistently deliver performances that resonate with audiences around the world. At the same time, this ongoing conversation reflects something much bigger than a single event or a single city. It highlights the unique relationship between artists and their fans in today's connected world. News, speculation, excitement, and expectations can travel across continents within minutes. A single discussion post can inspire thousands of comments. A fan edit can reach millions of viewers. A simple question, what if, can become the beginning of an international conversation that brings together people from different cultures, languages, and backgrounds. That's part of what makes global fandoms so extraordinary. They aren't connected only by music. They're connected by shared experiences, shared memories, and shared excitement for what the future might hold. And maybe that's the biggest takeaway from all of this. Whether the online speculation eventually proves accurate or not, it has already reminded everyone how deeply fans care about the artistry, growth, and future of someone they admire. Rather than focusing only on rumors, perhaps the most meaningful approach is to appreciate the journey that's already been created while remaining excited for whatever comes next through official announcements. If and when new projects are confirmed, fans will undoubtedly have plenty to celebrate together. Until then, imagination can certainly be fun, as long as it's balanced with patience and respect for verified information. Now it's your turn to join the conversation. What kind of performance would you personally love to see if Jimin were ever to headline a major show in London? Would you choose an elegant, emotional concept, a powerful dance-focused stage, a cinematic production, or something completely unexpected that no one has imagined yet? I'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts because every fan has a unique vision, and that's what makes discussions like this so interesting. If you enjoyed this video and want more updates, thoughtful discussions, and exciting conversations about your favorite artists, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps support the channel and lets us know you'd like to see more content like this. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next upload. And most importantly, head down to the comments right now and share your opinion. Do you think there's any chance these fan theories could inspire future performances? Or do you have an entirely different idea of what would make the perfect stage? Let's keep the discussion respectful, fun, and creative. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.